knows the importance of Namibia region, India-Africa Trade Council. He would be giving a short brief on the role of Namibia in the COMESA region, as well as just to tell you about Dr. Ramakrishna. He is a strategic person in strategizing the companies for a better role and a better success, and his interest specifically to take up the entire Tamil Nadu's companies towards Africa is really valuable. Dr. Ramakrishna.
His Excellency Mr. Gabriel Sinimbo, High Commissioner of Namibia to India, Honorable Shri Dr. Ashok, dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen. It gives a great pleasure to me to welcome you all to this prestigious gathering, which will further strengthen Indo-Namibia relationship. We are all aware that India's foreign policy under the dynamic leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Modi, along with his team of ministers and bureaucrats, have taken India to a significant level in the global map. His vision, I am sure, is not only taking India to a global power, but also in a joint growth with respective nations, particularly in trade and commerce, and specifically with global peace and unity. He has demonstrated this with no uncertain terms and clarity in recent times. Indo-African relationship takes an utmost importance in these challenging times for global economy. Further, to strengthen this, our Chief Minister, Sri M.K. Stalin, who has recently assumed office in these challenging times, has indicated that this government is open to welcome investments into and from the state outside, which will be mutually beneficial. I am sure that his team of ministers will take all efforts to strengthen the ties with African continent in the areas of agriculture, education, infrastructure, IT, and MSME. Indo-African relationship has been a very important subject in India's foreign affairs. Agriculture, MSME, education, coupled with skill development, cultural exchanges, infrastructures, sports, youth empowerment, has all been of high importance in today's global scenario. Namibia's relationship of great importance and significance to both the countries, as they share a common platform in all the above stated areas of growth. It is evident from the visit of our Prime Minister to Mr. Modi during 2015 and then in 2019 to Namibia. During the last couple of weeks, I had a privilege of discussing with His Excellency Dr. Agrippa Damba, who is Executive Governor at the AFRA, a newly formed African Finance Regulatory Authority, and he is also the President of African Central Bank. During our conversation, I was mentioning about the importance of such an organization to be in the forefront for all the countries in the African continent. I am of the view that any country to achieve place in the global map, it must focus on 100% literacy, and education hence becomes more important part of the economic growth. Indian education system has been accredited as one of the outstanding systems globally. It is evident from the fact that most of our NRIs shine in the global platform and have started occupying important positions in the areas they serve. Namibia needs to take advantage of this, and henceforth we will discuss with the Indian government for a very effective bilateral relationship in education sector. I hope African Trade Council will take all efforts to propose a very vibrant, mutually useful education exchange programs with leading Indian universities. It is important to note that many of the universities in southern region have successfully running global programs. For one to get educated, money need not be the only challenge. Their commitment to get educated with necessary skills through practical training programs will lead them to the growth path. Indian government has already invested and allocated skill development programs. Namibia should take advantage of the initiative and discuss with the Government of India to make their students educated with skill development. Agriculture has been the most important contributor to GDP of both India and Namibia. Both the countries have huge agriculture and forest reserves. Agriculture does not stop with food grains and eatables. It now has taken a very important stage in agro-pharmaceuticals. Indian agriculture has become system-oriented and technology-driven. Siddha, Ayurveda has agro products and it has its main ingredients. India encourages medical tourism in a very large scale. Most of its hospitals has a separate wing for this form of treatment, including massage and healing therapies like pranic healing, alpha, varma, reiki and the like. Yoga and meditation have been realized by the global population for a healthy life. Namibia has got a good agricultural land reserves. I am of the view that it can take a bilateral ties for agri and agro-pharmaceuticals with India. These products have a good demand globally as it is natural and particularly has no side effects. It is important that COVID has not majorly impacted the kind of people who follow a very strict disciplined life with intake of agricultural products like turmeric, asafoetida, clove, pepper, garlic and the like. Farmers who are prioritized the requirement of this form of treatment travel to India for such natural treatments. Agriculture has also its contribution in sectors like power generation, perfumery, sugar, textiles, furniture, etc. Namibia has a huge opportunity in this area, particularly when there is an agricultural land available in plenty. One of the other challenges for bilateral trade is infrastructure availability. Power supply and roads has been one of the major concerns for African countries. India's infrastructure corporations have demonstrated quality development across globe. India has also invited global corporations for infrastructure development. Today, most of them have their offices established in this country and are ready to travel with India in a global scenario. Namibia can initiate discussions with the Indian government and these huge investment corporations and infrastructure corporations for development of infrastructure, which is very important for economic growth and investments. This was one of the most important points I had discussed with the AFRA General very recently. As these doesn't take place, it is very evident that technology will also develop, as without technology, none of them can take place. India's software development professionals have been a shining star in almost all information technology majors, including large global players internationally. They are still occupying high positions in these corporations depending upon the skill sets. South India plays a very major role in technology globally, and after successful education training programs, the students and professionals in these areas should be encouraged to get trained in India, which will help them grow in their respective field of specialization. Above all, it is important that African countries should educate their masses on socio-economic development. These are possible in two ways. One, physically talking to them on the importance of development and initiative which respective government can take. And the second, once these investments come to their economy with global tie-up, they will see and feel the development for themselves. His Excellency, as Director of COMESA South, I would like to place before you that Indian investors are quite keen to invest in the African continent for a mutually beneficial relationship. It would be of great value if you could enlighten us on the opportunities available for investments, types of investments, the repatriation, other statutory regulations, investors protection, and JV or wholly owned subsidiary regulations. I wish Indo-African and Namibia, being an important member, to be a major global player with an effective trade commerce tie-up and place themselves in an important position in the global map. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Dr. Asif Iqbal, the President of Indian Economic Trade Organization, he would be setting up the theme for today's evening. And just to tell you about, Dr. Iqbal also took a delegation last year to Namibia, where he explored multiple opportunities there. And based on his experience, Dr. Iqbal, if you could also tell more about the experiences that you had last year. Over to you, Dr. Iqbal.
Excellency, High Commissioner of Namibia, Mr. Gabriel Pandureni Sinimbo, the Commercial Attache, Mr. Oscar, would welcome you both to the beautiful city of Chennai and the state of Tamil Nadu, respected delegates, friends of the media, and all our friends here today of Namibia. We want to thank you very much for coming out today to explore and understand the India-Namibia relationships. And I would especially like to thank His Excellency High Commissioner for taking and being courageous to come in time of COVID, where traveling is not as flexible. But still, this is something, Excellency, that is really commendable on your part. I would like to thank you very much. We have been to Namibia last year, early 2020, just before the COVID started, and a delegation from Tamil Nadu, and I'm glad all our delegation members are here today, along with Mr. Radhakrishnan, Mr. Gabriel and a few more others who had come. During this time, we had explored Namibia, and with the support of the High Commission, some very important meetings were fixed for us in the lines of affordable housing, agriculture, health collaborations, mining, pharmaceutical, and agriculture. So around 6 to 7 areas were explored. We initiated talks with the mayor of the capital of Namibia for initiating into affordable housing, and we are glad that we have got an infrastructure company, URC Constructions, here today. Thank you very much, sir, for being here. And we will be exploring opportunities in infrastructure. Then in agriculture, and Tamil Nadu being an agricultural hub for agricultural equipment, there is a lot of opportunities for agriculture collaboration. We had meetings with the University of Namibia, the Agriculture University of Namibia, for initiating collaborations on on agriculture center of excellence, and the Tamil Nadu is going to be taking a lead in that. And the office of the India Namibia Trade Forum here in Chennai will help you and support you in all the other necessary information that you get. And there is a delegation expected to go sometime next month. We will wait for the instructions and inputs from the High Commission and also the High Commission of India in Namibia to give us necessary directions as to we take the delegation along. So the delegation will comprise from Chennai, Bangalore, and Hyderabad and Kerala. So we are just working on that, and we are looking forward to see how we can take things forward. We are also glad today that the High Commissioner of India, Mr. Prashant Agarwal, has sent his message for this evening for all of you, and which we will be playing after this. So he has also been cooperative, and the Embassy of India, the High Commission of India, has been very supportive in their activities in supporting these relations. Very soon we are going to be having, later we are going to hear to people from infrastructure, agriculture, and various other sectors who will guide you, and we will also have another member of our delegation, Mr. Kannan, who will speak to you, and Mr. Radhakrishnan himself will explain to you. Of course, you know, he is a typical Tamil, son of Tamil Nadu, and he is going to explain to you in Tamil. Because a lot of people that I met, you know, they said we need to have a Tamil, medium for us to understand. And a lot of people from different parts of Coimbatore and Sulu said that we would like to have somebody, who can speak in Tamil and explain to us. And we're glad that Mr. Radhakrishnan has been there and taking a strong step in promoting these kind of relations with the Tamil community. And we look forward to your cooperation more and more. Thank you. So I would once again thank you all for being here, and welcome you to this session to get many more inputs. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Iqbal. I can also recall, Dr. Iqbal, you met the President of Namibia in 2019, from where it all started, and the idea behind connecting more from the south side of Africa and the south side of India began and initiated. Thank you, Dr. Iqbal. We were expected to be joined by the Minister of Handlooms and Textiles, State Government of Tamil Nadu, Honorable Minister R. Gandhi, but he couldn't make it today due to a very important meeting. But we will move forward, and we give him a really appreciation and thanks for making it, his wishes for this event. Next, we would like to have a video message by the Indian High Commissioner in Windhoek, Namibia, His Excellency Prashant Agarwal, who supported really well during the visit to Namibia last year. Can we have the video, please?
Tamil Nadu, Your Excellency, the High Commissioner of Namibia to India, distinguished head, India-Africa Trade Council, the President of Indian Economic Trade Organization, IETO, the head of India Namibia Trade Forum, and distinguished participants. It is a great pleasure for me to be joining all of you virtually for organization of this very special event on emerging India-Namibia relations. As you know, Namibia enjoys a very special place in the heart of all Indians. India supported Namibia's freedom struggle even before its own independence, when in 1946 we took up the matter of the then Southwestern Africa at the UN in 1946. Over the past few decades, our relations from Namibia have gone from strength to strength, and in a year when India is observing its own 75th anniversary, the time is right to take this partnership to a new level. That our relationship has stood the test of time was made amply clear when we engaged in a very strong partnership on vaccine and health in COVID-19 pandemic. But the pandemic has also made it imperative that we redouble our efforts and find opportunities in key areas such as agriculture, water, irrigation, solar energy and other renewable energies, health and pharmaceuticals, ICT, higher education, just to name a few sectors. We were very happy to receive a strong business delegation from IETO last year in Namibia, and I'm happy to note that that visit has led to several important initiatives, including the establishment of the Trade Forum. Let me reassure you that from the side of High Commission of India in Namibia, we stand ready to facilitate any initiative or proposal that you wish to take forward. And we are just a phone call, message, or email away. We do have several engagements in mind in coming months, and we look forward to full participation of the India-Africa Trade Council and IETO in these initiatives. I look forward to the discussions and deliberations in this important event today to see how we can take this partnership forward. And I would like to once again thank you for inviting us to be a part of this important engagement. Thank you once again. Namaskar and Jai Hind.
We are very glad to be having such support from the Indian High Commission in Namibia. Now we would formally welcome and would like to felicitate the High Commissioner of Namibia with the official certificate from India Africa Trade Council. It is a lifetime honorary membership of India Africa Trade Council. Can we have the certificate, please? Excellency, can you please move forward? Yeah. We are presenting an honorary lifetime membership to Excellency the High Commissioner of Namibia in India. Thank you very much, Excellency, for joining us for today's evening. Now we have a video from the Namibian High Commission in New Delhi. Can we have the video, please? Tremendous opportunities in Namibia. And now we have been waiting for this moment. I invite His Excellency Mr. Gabriel Pandureni Sinimbo, the High Commissioner of Namibia in India, for his keynote address on robust Namibian economy and relation with India and its role in being gateway for southern African countries. Excellency Sinimbo was appointed as the Permanent Secretary. Excellency Sinimbo was tasked with the responsibility of setting up of newly established regional council in Kavango West. Prior to that, he has worked as Director of Planning in Kavango Regional Council, and he was also worked for the private sector where he was having many managerial positions. He holds a master's degree in international business and undergraduate qualifications in public administration and marketing. He was also appointed as the Permanent Secretary to the Ministry of Youth, National Service, Sports and Culture. Excellency, over to you.
Namaskar. Director of Ceremonies, thank you so much for the very rich introduction. Before I can acknowledge the dignitaries that are present here today, I wish to start off by saying that we are extremely very delighted to be here, simply because of your presence. Of course, I take into account that as entrepreneurs, as business people, as professionals, there's always so many other important things to attend to, competing for your time. But now we are honored to have you here, having compromised on the other things to join this summit today. The Honorable Minister, in absentia, I want to extend our appreciation for his commitment to be here today. Dr. Asif Iqbal, I must really indicate our sincere happiness that you have been a partner, particularly since my arrival in India. In fact, we came to an understanding that given the opportunities that prevail in Namibia and the capabilities of India to provide the necessary economic and development solutions to Namibia, we needed an entity, a forum that can help us to achieve that. Professionals of his team that understands the dynamics of India as a country, to be able to translate our synergies into mutual beneficial relations. Thank you so much with your partners, of course, for facilitating and sponsoring this event. I want to recognize Mr. Ramakrishna, Dr. Perumal, Mrs. Ariane, as well as the rest of the distinguished speakers and the business community who are here today. Finally, of course, I'm also very pleased to indicate that we have an excellent relation with High Commissioner Prasant Agrawal, since our aspirations and intentions is basically the same. Hence his participation today, of course, for him also to endorse the summit that we have today, this afternoon. So our purpose for coming is briefly to talk about the business opportunities in Namibia, and also to extend our invitation that Namibia will be most welcoming you to join any business delegation, as Dr. Asif Iqbal has indicated, and that there will be some arrangements in the coming month to lead a delegation to Namibia. Now, before I can talk about other things, I just wanted to motivate the importance of these business delegations. Now, when you have sessions or summits of this nature, of course, your applications is in terms of only what we are able to tell you. But the delegations are such arrangements where you have an opportunity to have your own personal assessment of the situation on the ground. These are delegations that are arranged to satisfy each and every business person's requirement. Now, Namibia being a very small country compared or in relation to India, it is very, very, very possible during your trips to be able to get one-on-one engagements with the necessary people relevant to your sectors. Be they ministers or even whenever necessary, an opportunity for you to engage with the highest person in the name of the president, for him to give you the assurance of the benefits and the safety of investing in Namibia. Now, since the beginning of this year, because of the importance that Namibia places on investments, an entity of government has been established called Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board. It is a board that is dedicated to care and to really take care of investors. Even in terms of visits to Namibia, these are the boards that is placed under the presidency, given that elevation, to ensure that your queries or things that you require to be attended to during the visit is achieved. If there's meetings that you are going to desire, we will be on the ground. Of course, the coordinator is Dr. Iqbal, myself as well as the High Commissioner of India to Namibia, is to support the delegation. If it is, for example, interest in the mining sector, we'll arrange such engagements where those that are interested in the mining has an opportunity to meet with the policymaker, the minister responsible for this entity, as well as the technocrats. Policies of the country, they get to be explained to you. In terms of your meetings with the Ministry of Trade, Industrialization and Trade, that is what we call it, you will have such opportunities. In terms of engagements with the financial institutions, opportunities to do so, to engage with them, so that at the end of the day, there is a comprehensive understanding of Namibia as an investment environment. We have crafted as a country policies that are very responsive to the needs of investors. One of the questions, and it also arose, is the issue of the repatriation of investments, for example, which is quite critical for any investor, because if you bring in a country your resources, your assets, at the end of the day, you should have the comfort to withdraw if you are unhappy at any given time. So this is provided for in the laws of Namibia. Namibia is a country that is very easy to come in with your investments. It is not very bureaucratic. And in the same manner, just as you would come in, so easy it is to repatriate your investment 100%. Let me now quickly stick to my statement as prepared. I want first to start that our relations with India dates back, and that is also what the High Commissioner of India to Namibia was reflecting on during our struggles. Of course, India supported quite a number of African countries, and in particular our country, to ensure that Namibia attains her independence. And the support of India to Namibia still continues, given the relationships. Recently, of course, not too long back, with the advent of COVID, we received support in terms of vaccines from India. India was the very first country that came, that extended a helping hand without being selfish, thinking about India herself, but India had in mind other countries, in particular Africa. Namibia has made significant strides. Since our independence, we are now 31 years old. We have established a firm foundation in terms of democracy. unity, peace, stability, and we have developed a robust governance characterized by well-functioning processes, systems, and institutions. This is important to state because for you to invest in any country, you want to be comfortable because it is not just about doing business. It's about the stability of the country, the political stability of the country. It is about whether the government is functional. A number of things, whether it is in terms of health, when you are in the country, are the systems of the country working? Of course, these are the things that we take pride in as Namibians, as a country. In Africa, of course, we are a role model in terms of democracy. Namibia's track record in terms of government has been recognized both regionally and internationally by the rating agencies, such as the Economic Forum. Some of the ratings you have seen in the video, and in the interest of time, of course, I don't have to narrate that again. India ranks in the top 6 trading partners of Namibia and remains an important strategic partner both as a market and as a source of foreign direct investment. The bilateral trade between Namibia and India has grown over the years. Although the trade balance is skewed in favor of India, obviously, and through this and a number of business transactions, we hope for a balanced trade relationship. I believe that one of the most viable and sustainable ways to bring about a true win-win situation between India and Namibia is through increased investments from India and by entering into joint venture partnerships between Namibia and Indian entrepreneurs. Now, there are quite a number of business entities that are operating in Namibia of Indian origin. Of course, I will talk to that. And during these engagements, what we normally do is also to invite those business entities to speak about their experience and how they have experienced Namibia as a country during the time that they have been running their businesses there. The current bilateral trade between India and Namibia is just over 100 million US dollars, according to the statistical information from the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. India's export commodities to Namibia include pharmaceutical products, cereals, and preparations of cereals, sugar and sugar confectionaries, meat and edible meal offals, inorganic, organic, agrochemicals, glass and glassware plastics, linoleum products, manufacturers of metals, machine tools, machinery and instruments, transport equipment, rubber manufactured products, and electronic goods, just to mention some of the things that are currently being exported from India to Namibia. And from Namibia, some of the commodities that we are currently importing here or exporting from Namibia into India is products such as precious and semi-precious stones, jewelry, iron and steel, hides and skin, zinc, non-ferrous metals, multilefiers, ores, metal scrap, electrical machinery, and equipment and parts. Thus, there is a great room to increase the volume of trade and investment between the two countries. Our diamonds and semi-precious stones are exported through London to India, and we want to change for those commodities to be directly exported to India. Equally, Namibia can source agricultural implement and machineries, IT technology, and many more goods from India. I therefore strongly believe that Namibia and India can cooperate and work together in different sectors of the economy. Currently, Indian companies that have invested in Namibia includes Vedanta. I'm just mentioning a few of the very, very large ones. The Indian GPT group of companies in joint venture with Transnami for the production of concrete sleepers. Other Indian companies have invested in energy, some in agriculture, irrigation, healthcare, diamond cutting and polishing, as well as in the retail business. There are still vast business opportunities in Namibia in the areas of agro-processing and green schemes, pharmaceuticals, food processing, solar energy, information technology, gems and jewelry, tertiary education, tourism, and the manufacturing sector. Yeah, and most of the African countries, except very few, we are not well developed in terms of manufacturing. A lot of things is really required in Africa, and that is why Africa is a net importer of most of the commodities, including food. And as far as food is concerned, even though the produce that we are getting from our agricultural sectors, the food processing is very, very, very limited. So whatever one can think of, there is a great potential of investing or putting up a plant or a manufacturing plant in Namibia to be able to service the African market. Namibia is well located, serving as a gateway, as you have seen in the video presentation, to the Southern Development Community or the SADC region. The Valfes port is designed and strategically located to also serve the region's hinterland, and was for this reason that dry port facilities were allocated to the 4 landlocked countries such as Botswana, Democratic Republic of Congo, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. What this basically means is, of course, we have quite a number of African countries or countries within SADC that are landlocked. Now, the 4 that I have mentioned have special accommodation within our harbor. Our harbor has been developed to world-class standard in order to ensure the efficiency of facilitating logistics. And the rating of our harbor, I think, is around 25 in the whole world, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm speaking under correction. But it is a high ranking rate that is allocated to the Namibian harbor. Namibia is also a member of the Southern African Customs Union, SACU. There was a talk about that. Goods manufactured in these countries moves duty-free within the customs union. I must mention that SACU-India negotiation is ongoing, which will further open opportunities for businesses with the SACU countries. Currently, India ranks 5th position as a trading partner of SACU countries, both as importing and export source, according to the information by the SACU Secretariat. The other good news is the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, which came into effect on the 1st of January this year, and will open opportunities to allow goods and services to move freely amongst the 55 member states of the African Union. And of course, doing business with the African countries or with Namibia in particular is highly invited and feasible. But what may even give an added advantage is when such a business in terms of the manufacturing of the goods and the provision of the services is located within Namibia, for example. Because this will then make it will make it an advantage in terms of customs duties. Because when one is operating within SACU, for example, and now by virtue of the African Free Trade Area at a later stage, doing business with the rest of Africa, the commodities will be exempted from the customs duties, or at least most of those. I therefore invite you to consider Namibia as an investment destination, a country governed through processes, systems, and the rule of law. We hope to see you during the next delegation that will be facilitated. In fact, this is just an introduction of the opportunities that prevail. But when we have such delegations, of course, one then gets to be exposed to these systems, to the laws of the country, to the real opportunities that prevails in Namibia. I thank you so much, and shall take further interactions.
The next is the launch of Namibia Special Edition booklet. Can we also invite, along with our dignitaries, we would like to invite Dr. R.L. Kannan, Mr. Oscar, and Dr. Ramakrishna to join us on stage for the book launch. This book is going to cover the entire opportunities in Namibia, as well as a detail about the delegation that went to Namibia last year. It also covers the messages by the Indian High Commission in Windhoek and the Namibian High Commission in New Delhi.